Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Monday to you. Hope everyone had a wonderful and safe, hopefully restful 4th of July. Today is July the 6th, 2015. I want to welcome you to world-renowned motivational speaker, speech coach, and best-selling author, Les Brown, Monday Night Motivation, featuring Les Brown and the Platinum Speakers Voices of Hope. For those of you that have joined us before, and to the first-time listeners, this is your place for motivation, inspiration, and empowerment. I am Anita Hicks, your host, peak performance strategist, and life coach. Thank you so much for investing in yourself and joining us tonight. Well, everyone, tonight we have a special treat for you. She's very special to me, and I know she's special to you. You hear this voice on almost every Monday night call, and you had an opportunity to hear her last week. You're going to hear her again this week. This is my friend and my sister, my platinum sister, Dr. Stacie N.C. Grant. And for those of you that are not, if you don't know her, I don't know where you've been, but I want to tell you just a little bit about Dr. Stacie N.C. Grant. Dr. Grant is living her divine calling to lead, teach, and inspire. Described as God's designer original, she ignites her audiences with her captivating smile, intoxicating humor, and boundless energy. As an empowerment specialist, Dr. Grant is a highly sought-after inspirational speaker, trainer, life coach, and mistress of ceremony. The strategic forces of Dr. Grant's empowerment platform is executed through her Destiny Designers University, where she serves as designer-in-chief, a virtual life skills leadership presentation and professional development platform. She has hosted the popular Monday midday motivation show entitled Create Your Own Luck with Stacie N.C. Grant, and the TV pilot Destiny Designers TV. Dr. Stacie N.C. Grant also has the distinction of being one of the world-renowned Les Brown notable platinum speakers, the co-host of Les Brown Monday Night Motivation, and one of his expert trainers. Stacie, how are you, my sister?
Hello, my dear. I just love hearing your voice every single Monday. We get to play in the universe and enjoy inspiring lives. Yes. So good to hear. I hope you had a great holiday.
I did. I got some rest, and I ate a lot. How about you?
I did the same thing, and I enjoyed every minute of it. But thank you so much for who you are and the fact that we get to do this every single Monday and carry on the legacy Mr. Brown has created with this platform. And I'm just so honored that anybody would want to open up their little ears and let me in their heart tonight.
Well, you know what? You have such a powerful message, and I know you spoke with Les today, and I know that he is excited about having you on the call tonight with all the energy that you brought last week. So, I know we have a short time. I'm going to mute my line, let you get started, and then we'll chat after.
Absolutely. Thank you, Anita. And good evening to all of you who are listening on evening or Eastern Standard Time. To those listening all around the world, just hello. I am just thrilled that we get to share this moment in time together. Just want to thank Mr. Les Brown again for this platform. He has been providing this Monday night motivational call for years, a part of his commitment in inspiring 100,000 voices all over the globe. And I tell you, as I took a break, as I mentioned before with Anita, for the holiday, I talked last week about independence and declaring your own independence. And it was an exciting day for me because that day was the day that I actually stepped out and decided to run my business full time. That was the day that I declared and decreed on the 29th of June that I was no longer going to just play halfway, but I was going to play full out and run this business that I had started a few years prior completely full time. It was a nervous time. It was really a challenge for me to be able to say, I am going to do this come high water, come low water. I don't know how many of you can relate to that and declaring that kind of independence, because it's easy to know where your check is coming from every week. Can I get an amen? Because when you know that you have benefits, that you have the ability to cash a check every other week or every week as a result of the work that you produce for somebody else, there's a certain level of comfort. But when you declare your independence to step out in the world, to provide to the world your services, your talents, your goods, that's something that could really make you lose 1 or 2 hair follicles. But I did it, and I stepped out on faith, saying that I knew that there was more, that this was the time to be able to move ahead with what I felt in my soul and in my spirit. And some of you listening right now, you've been tuning into this call, some for the first time, and I say welcome to the new callers, some who've just joined this year, some who've been here year after year, and you're attracted to Les Brown's Motivational Monday Night Call to hear his voice, to hear the voices of myself and the other platinum speakers, because you know that there is more to life for you, because you know and understand that there's a certain independence that you want to celebrate, that you want to have your own fireworks going off in your life, because you have put your stake in the ground. You understand that 2015 is a year of change, growth, and there's a shift happening. See, every time that you hear our voices, every time that we touch you in a place deep down in your belly, like that under feeling that you can't even describe, that you get excited, that you hear our voices and you want to just go running down the street and telling everyone. You want to stay up all night long because you're excited about what you possess. See, that kind of independence that you're declaring and decreeing, it's also seeking you. So when I focused on this weekend just celebrating, one, that I have the liberty and the freedom to dream a dream here in this country, that we all celebrated with barbecues or family time or travel or vacation, but not to take for granted that even in 2015, there are people who don't have the latitude to be able to dream the way that we can, to be able to take a chance and take a bet on themselves and know that you are the best bet out there. When you think about where you are right now in your life, I just want you to reflect on something that I sat and I pondered. I said, wow, what if I felt that urge and I didn't take the next step? What if I believed what other people said to be true instead of believing in me? What if I didn't have the right people around me to speak life, to speak encouragement, to talk a different conversation around what's possible in my life? What if I wouldn't be here with you right now experiencing this time in this place and understanding that my work with Les Brown and those who I've been privileged to share platforms with have transformed and changed my ability to reach the masses? So I'm not telling you that to impress you, but to impress upon you the importance of now. And my talk tonight is going to be around just the clarity in the vision. I was watching Iyanla Vanzant speak on one of the master classes she did with Oprah, or one of the tours. And there was a phrase in there that jumped out at me, and I just want to share that with you tonight. She was on a vacation with her grandson, and she had to take him to go get his glasses checked out. He wore glasses. And she said she went with him, you know, accompanying like a good grandmother. You're going to go and take your grandson, run some errands, and continue on. And the optometrist offered to check her eyes. She said, I don't need to get my eyes checked. My eyes are fine. You know, I have 20/20 vision. And when she humored the optometrist to just take a look, what she said to her was that your eyes will adjust to the level of deficiency present. Wow. Let me repeat that one more time. Your eyes will adjust to the level of deficiency present. Woo! I had to sit with that one. I said, wow. So even our physiological body, our eyes will adjust to the level of deficiency present. When I think back on the things that I have done, the things that I second guess because my eyes were adjusting to the level of deficiency present because of the belief system that I did not have at the time that was going to match what had already been decreed for me. See, somebody didn't get that, but I'm going to repeat it one more time. Your eyes will adjust to the level of deficiency present. I was sharing that with Les, and I said, Les, isn't that just a meaty statement? If you think about the fact that sometimes we allow ourselves to reduce the vision for our life, to decrease our dreams and our goals, to withdraw from taking chance and opportunity towards living a better and a bigger life. He said, absolutely, because in order to grow, in order to create the kind of lifestyle that we're looking for, we must create experiences beyond our training, beyond our deficiency, beyond the things that we don't know. See, I had to be very clear that I didn't know everything. So because I didn't know everything and I wasn't the smartest person in my group, I needed to get with a group of individuals, mentors, coaches, that I could invest my time and my energy in to expand my paradigm. You've heard me say it over and over again. It's one of my favorite quotes from Dennis Kimbrough. If you're the smartest person in your group, you need a new group. You need to be around people that can stretch you. And that's one of the secrets that Les shared with me. He said, you know, when you can position yourself to be uncomfortable, to stretch, to reach up in order to grow, that's how you get to the next level. He had people in his life who spoke to him. You heard him tell the stories. Brownie, you're more than a disc jockey. Brownie, you're more than a legislator. Brownie, you can change the world with your voices. Who is speaking in your life? Who is helping you to adjust what you are seeing? Who is clarifying your vision so that you do not play small? See, in order for us to get to that next level, in order for us to stretch past what's comfortable, because let's be real, it's easy to just do enough to get by. It's easy not to step out and make yourself vulnerable and open to others' ridicule or others' critique of what you're doing with your life. It's easy to just play it cool, to just go on and get by. But it takes a special individual, an individual like you who dialed into this call tonight to know that you are in a space where you cannot be comfortable anymore, that you have to choose relationships that will stretch you, choose relationships that will raise our consciousness to a whole nother level. Let me tell you the power in that. See, when Ilana talked about the fact that it was just an eye appointment, and an eye appointment just made her think differently about how we can reduce our own vision for ourselves, I think about this young man from Africa who was featured on CNN, Jay Karengo, if I'm not misspelling his name. But his story is so powerful because, see, he didn't let others reduce the vision that he had for his life. See, he came to America and he was on a special program and was staying in a hotel, and he just observed that people would throw out their soap when they finished in the hotel. Something as simple as soap would just discard it, and he asked the hotel management, what happens? What happens with all of this soap in the hotel room? Do you reuse it? And, of course, the hotel manager looked at him like he was insane, like, we throw that out. We don't reuse soap. And he said that there were villages back home that he could recycle that soap, and they could use that soap, and they could actually help to reduce disease and actually be able to give people who never had bars of soap. I said, wow, and he began to do his research. He began to see how much in just this country was used and wasted that could be recycled and offered to somebody else in a faraway country that would not take it for granted. I was shocked. That story, it sticks with me. I talk about it all the time because imagine that he did not adjust his vision to what was status quo. And the status quo is you use a piece of soap, you throw it out. There's no need. You just disregard it. But he was in a different space of operating. See, he was exposed to something different. He was exposed to the opportunity to be able to help those who he knew needed it by expanding his vision. You'll never know who you're going to touch. You're never going to know whose life you're going to save. You're never going to know which communities you can transform unless you raise your consciousness and relationships and invite yourself to stretch past what's comfortable in order to execute your divine calling. See, that vision that you have, that goal, that dream, he didn't know where his goal and dream was going to take him. At that moment, he was just thinking about a bar of soap, a wasted bar of soap. But from that step of faith, from that moment of him realizing that there was something more for him to do with his life, that he couldn't just be comfortable in a certain level of success that he achieved, but he had to stretch himself to say, how can I make this a blessing to others? See, that's what happens when you stretch yourself. That's what happened when I invested in working with Mr. Brown. That's what happened when I stepped on platforms like FraserNet and working with George Fraser. That's what happened when I started doing the work that I do, not because I'm fabulous, but because I realized that I needed to grow, that I needed to stretch my paradigm, that I needed to touch and press palms with those who were playing a bigger game, that I needed to look right around me and figure out where were the pieces of soap that I was overlooking, where were the areas and opportunities that I could create memories and experiences to create shifts in the lives of those that I work with. See, as you listen to this call, as you hear the voices of those who speak to you, it's a reminder of what you already know. It's a reminder that you have to choose wisely how you spend your energy. Because if you're hanging around people with a limited vision, your eyes will adjust to the level of deficiency present. Woo! That one got me good in my soul. If you're hanging with the wrong people, that's a tweet. As Miss O would say, your eyes will adjust to the level of deficiency present, because people who can't dream a bigger dream will drag you down. We can't afford to be in relationships with individuals who are draining, who are taxing, who are telling us no instead of encouraging the yes, who are looking at us, and because they're not stepping out on their goals and dreams, they want you to halt your goals and dreams. See, we have to watch the kind of energy that is around us. I talk all the time about who is sitting in your front row. Who is sitting in your front row? Who is encouraging you to read a new book this week? Who is encouraging you to invest in a program for yourself? Who is encouraging you to travel and explore new places, new cultures, new opportunities? Who is encouraging you to dream a bigger dream? Because sometimes we have to be around people who can see a bigger vision for ourselves than we can see at the moment. You've heard it said time and time again, you can't see the picture if you're in the frame. So in order for you to explore, in order for you to really rise to the occasion, your vision has to be elevated. Your consciousness has to be elevated. You can run faster with 100 than one person around your neck. You need to find individuals who are thinking the same, speaking the same language, and they are committed to personal growth and development. But that's just not going to happen overnight. It's, you're saying, Stacie, that sounds good in theory, but on those tough days, on those days when life shows up, how do you keep moving? Well, here's my little secret sauce. See, you have to be able to tune in to the relationships that will lift your energy and your spirit. Here's a test. If you get a phone call, and thank God for call ID, you see the number come up and instantly your face frowns or you feel like, oh, Lord, what is it now? What are they complaining about? Just instantly you feel everything inside of you shifting because you know the call is drama. You know the call is draining. You know the person is not calling to really check on you but to dump on you. That is the first tip on running far, far away from that phone call and pressing ignore. Now, I don't want you going around ignoring all your family members all the time or close friends. You have to strategically do that and tell them that you were busy in a meeting. They don't need to know that the meeting was with you. But why is that important? Because you need to answer the phone calls of the people who raise your spirit, who raise your energy. You can actually create a physiological change in somebody's body. Research has shown if you are speaking positive words, if you are encouraging, if you allow them to be able to feel better physically as a result of your interaction. See, it's not just going to happen overnight that you can weed out all the people in your life that are not causing you to grow, but you have to be conscious as of right now. Who is sitting in your immediate front row? Because sometimes we have to love people from a distance. We have to be in the position of being uncomfortable. I know it's not easy. But in order for us to clarify our own vision, in order for us to decrease the deficiency in what we see for our lives, we have to be deliberate about those we allow in our space. So I want you to write down right now. If you're driving, please do not write and drive, but just do it when you get home. But I want you to write down right now how you are going to evaluate the people you speak to on a daily basis. Because we all have people that we talk to every day. Sometimes it's every week. But be deliberate. As of tonight, be very deliberate about who you are spending your time with and who you are allowing to enter your subconsciousness. Because this will be a deciding factor in how you progress every day. We're in the third quarter of the year. It is time to turn it up. We cannot allow ourselves to play small. Not anymore. No more playing small. No more being in the background and feeling that's comfortable. No more of our vision adjusting to the level of deficiency that we see for our lives. Just no more. No more being in the relationships that don't uplift us. No more waiting to step out and bring to the world our product, our service, our vision, our real estate that we want to own. No more waiting for somebody else to validate who we are. No more. You have what you need. You have everything that you can bring to the world. It just needs to be cultivated by the right team, by the right individuals that you will align yourself to invest in creating a better future for you. When I think about Jay and just creating this whole idea of recycling soap, when I think about the fact that so many of us have a good idea, we have something that we want to do and something that comes to us, and we never act on that idea, and then somebody else takes our idea. Have you been there? Have you thought of something? Or maybe it's a product, or maybe you thought of an organization to start and you never move forward with it, and then you look up and somebody else is running with your dream. What's been given to you has been given to you for a time and a purpose. We're in a space right now where we have to clarify our vision, where we have to believe more in the possibility than in the lack. We are in a space right now. Viktor Frankl talks about, between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space is our ability to make a decision, to take some action, to really be deliberate about what's next for our lives. When I was recently in Dallas, I spoke to you last week about meeting some incredible people, and I got an email this week from a young person who was there. She's a college student, and she said she was so inspired. Her name is Desiree, that she went back and she said she is not going to wait anymore. She's going to start an organization called a Power Ambassadors, that because she was around people who were creating, people who were deliberately functioning in their divine calling, she was inspired to not wait until she graduated to be able to start this organization, but to start it right now. She was clear about the fact that because people spoke into her life, that people had the right conversations around her, that people had the similar views about the future, that the future for her is now. That she went back and she started this group, and she asked me to be a mentor or to come and speak for them. And I said, of course I would, but I wanted to know what really got to her, what really made her step out on faith, to step out and do something instead of talking about it. Because a lot of us talk about our goals and dreams because we're looking through the lens that has reduced itself. We're looking through the lens that is not showing us the greatness that resides in us. We're looking through the lens that is telling us, no, you don't have enough money. No, you don't know the right people. No, you don't have what it takes. We're looking through a lens that's showing us all of the things that cannot be, instead of looking through the lens that we are reaching for through the eyes of those that have played a bigger game, that are saying, come, there's room for you here. Come, I want you to be a part of changing the world one person at a time. Come, it's time for you to step into your greatness. Come, the world needs you. The world needs your voice. Come, the world needs you to open up that piece of real estate. The world needs you to be able to create the relationships as an example for others to model. The world is waiting for all of us to adjust not to the level of deficiency present, but the level of proficiency available when we reach for expanding our relationships with individuals who have the ability to help us grow. It goes back to the whole idea of the 10,000 hours of mastery in the book, The Outliers, when you are doing your work over and over again, that no matter what it looks like, no matter how challenging, no matter how daunting it may seem to keep moving when you're not sure what the results are going to be, that you keep pressing forward because you've armed yourself with an army of individuals that can help you navigate the next step in your life. I want to leave you with a few things to do. You know, I always give assignments and challenges so that we don't just listen, but we act on the information received. So if you, like me, have been guilty of adjusting to the level of deficiency present, if you've been guilty of thinking that you weren't enough, that you didn't have enough, that you weren't from the same pedigree as others so that you couldn't do, if you were in a space where people have been talking down to you, who didn't believe in you, if you've ever been caught up with not being able to see a vision with some of the things we right around us, just like recycled soap, just like a poem that could save someone from taking their life, just like an example to a group of students on a college campus that don't want just an education, but they want to change the world through example. If you've been in that space, I want to invite you to do one more thing. I ask you to write down who you're spending your time with. Who are you talking to? Who are you speaking to? Who have you invested your time with? What books have opened your mind and challenged your thought pattern? What conferences have you attended? What do you spend your time listening to on the radio, on the TV? What are you giving your attention to? And when you write down and evaluate who it is that's draining your energy versus who is lifting your energy, the second thing I want you to do is decide and make an appointment to have a conversation of growth. A conversation of growth for at least 15 minutes every day for the next 7 days. A conversation of growth. What is a conversation of growth, Dr. Stacie? It's a conversation that you are going to challenge yourself to do something different. Not just listen to great words, not just read information, but actually act on it. What are you going to do? 15 minutes every day deciding on how you are going to grow. If that's making a phone call, if it's sending an email, if it's following up on someone that you met at an event, if it's reaching out to someone that you want to work with, if it's getting them as a mentor or a coach, if it's investing in a program, 15 minutes every day, who can you speak to as your accountability partner? Someone who is going to hold you to a higher standard of what's possible for your life. And I need you to call that person tonight. I need you to tell them the assignment. I need you to let them know that you have committed and promised me in front of hundreds of people on this call that you are going to have 15 minutes of growth for the next 7 days. And then I want to hear exactly what you've been able to accomplish, because it's in momentum. It's in moving forward. It's in not stopping that you will see the growth in your life, that your vision will now rise to the greatness that's inside of you. It's in that moment where it will no longer decrease to any deficiency present, and I rebuke any deficiency that you might see now, because I'm going to hold the vision for you. I'm going to hold the vision for what's possible in your life. I'm going to hold the vision just like Les Brown does every single week by allowing this platform, because he understands that saying the words, "There's greatness in you," is not just the words. It's about the power in understanding how you can be a voice of hope, how your life can be an example, how you liberate others to do the same, just as Marianne Williamson talks about in the Course of Miracles. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. And I tell you today, you are powerful beyond measure. There's a certain level of grace built in with power, built in with strategy, all wrapped up in one, that starts to come together once you believe that what you have is enough. Once you believe and raise the bar on yourself, that you are willing to be uncomfortable, you are willing to not understand it all, you are willing to put yourself in a vulnerable position to learn and grow with those who have done it. See, it's one thing to learn from someone in theory, but it's another thing to walk in it. And I tell you that if I did not step out on faith, if I did not believe that what I had was worth the investment, that what I had was worth the opportunity to stretch out my hand and ask for help, to invest my dollars in not just entertainment, but education that will allow me the ability to build a platform where lives can be changed, I would still be sitting June 29th, 2001, waiting for it to happen and not declaring my independence. And somebody on this call tonight, you understand where you are. You understand the prime time that it is. You understand that this is your space. You understand that no longer can your vision be altered. No longer will you reduce and play small to make other people feel comfortable. No longer will you wait for the perfect timing, that you will move with purpose and conviction on your goals and your dreams. So the last thing that I want you to do, I've asked you to write down and evaluate those relationships. I've asked you to decide who you're going to use 15 minutes of growth conversation with for the next 7 days, and then I want you to wrap it up with a note to yourself. I want you to date it today, July 6, 2015, and I want you to write a note to self that this day, this is the vision for your life that you are creating. I want you to be very specific about what you will now see differently, a bigger vision for yourself. Where are you going to be come 6 months, 12 months, and even 5 years from now? What are you going to declare and decree today, July 6, 2015, that will be different 5 years from now? I want you to be very descriptive. I want you to write down how you will be financially free, how you will be running your business, your operation, your real estate company, your community service program, your products that you will be producing. You'll be sitting in an interview with Oprah. Whatever it is that you see for your life, I want you to dream big tonight. I'm giving you permission tonight to stop just watching other people live their dreams. Live your dream now. And if you're living your dream, you can play bigger, because if you can accomplish your dream by yourself, then you're not dreaming big enough. So challenge yourself tonight to write down a complete vision. I want you to put it up somewhere that you can look at it. See the power in visualization, the power in words, the power in writing down and putting it on paper will allow the brain to connect to the reality that you are stepping into. I challenge you to do that. And if you do that, if you keep that in front of you, no longer will your eyes adjust to any levels of deficiency present, because it can only see the next best version of you. It can only see how you're going to contribute to this world. It can only see the good that you will do, the lives that you will save, the information that you will share, just like Jay did, with a few bars of used soap, changed and transformed villages and places where there were disease. It might not be bars of soap for you, but it's bars of your brilliance that will be melted together, that will now transform and change lives, because you're no longer going to look through the lens of people playing small. You're no longer going to sit back and wait for that opportunity to arise. You are going to create your own opportunities. You're going to create your own platforms. You're going to create your own businesses. You're going to create your own stair steps in corporate America. You're going to do the big thing that you've been decided to do long before you even knew it, that it was declared and decreed for you. So humor me and do those 3 simple steps and watch what starts to happen even in your psyche as you make the decision to raise the consciousness of your conversations and relationships and stretch to where you can be in a space of only operating with collaborative, achievement-driven relationships that are going to make that number 3 assignment become a reality. I am counting on your success. I believe in every fiber of my being that this is your time. Your independence is here. Your vision has been clarified, and your freedom now lies in the execution of the actions that I shared with you. And I'm going to leave you with that Viktor Frankl quote one more time. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response, and in choosing our response lies our growth and freedom. Here's to your freedom, because your vision is now clear. Anita Boo, are you there?
Wow, Stacie, that was 3 simple yet powerful steps. When you
Stacie, I'm proud of you, girl.
It was powerful, wasn't it?
Papa Brad is on the call.
Yes.
It was powerful.
It was powerful.
It was so powerful, yes.
Let me share something with you, and Nita, you know this. It is, that half hour is a long time.
Yes.
When you don't have an audience to look at, you don't have the ability to see people's response and hear it, and to speak from your heart and to visualize that audience and speak to them as if they are in front of you, and to be able to connect with people. I was going through a tough time today, and I lost two of my platinum speakers on a physical level. And I got a call this morning, and a friend of mine, very close friend, Mike Rivers out of Columbus, Ohio, who was my karate instructor. He died unexpectedly. And my kids were reluctant to tell me because they know I've been dealing with grieving when I help people who, the families, I have pain too because these are my friends. And that hit me in the guts. And I just was lethargic and not quite myself. And when you spoke today, it helped me. It helped me because life is about three areas. One is a reason. We are here for a reason to do a great work. Two, a season. We're here for a certain amount of time, and Mike's time is up. The call will come out. Les is gone. My time will be up. And it's about creating the life that you want. And you talked about that. And as you spoke, it gave me a peace that we're all going to go. We're born to die. Mike had done his work. His time was up. And I've got a work to do. I've got something else to do. And I've got to be about the business of doing that, because the clock is not going to stop and say, wait, he's grieving now. He's lost three friends within a month. He's grieving. No, the clock is not going to stop. I've taken a hit. I thank God for their lives and what they've meant to me. And you spoke, and it helped me to connect with myself, to move through this and be a comfort to his sons and to his wife, and to be about my Father's business. And that's not easy. You brought me through this, and I thank you for that. And I can tell who study. I can tell those who study. You study. You study. I can tell who's reading. I don't have to see you. I can tell. Reuben, the reason I selected you, I know what you do. I can hear it in the intensity and your content, and you study me. And there are things that I do that you've tapped into that, and there are things that I've learned from you. And that's really the power of the synergy when people study with you, or someone comes in, take 2 or 3 lessons, then run off and start teaching it themselves. First, as a student, there's mastery, and then there's teachers. And I've seen people who come and took 3 or 4 classes, and then they go off and start teaching it themselves. And they don't know what they don't know. And one of the things I decided after hearing you, and I look at Anita, people who've been here with me for this journey, and Reuben, that when I have the training in September, for the first time, because you know enough for me to share with you the other things that I would not even bring up to people who don't study. Training people to speak who just want to make money or have people run to the back of the room bores me. That is not worth my time. God has not given me the grace of being on the planet for 7 years to waste my time with people who are playing small. My voice and my time is not for people who don't want to make a global impact. And what I realize, only 1% want to do that. Only 1%. You're a 1%er. You're a 1%er, Anita. Reuben is a 1%er. And I have so much in me, and I said, God, please don't don't let me die with this in there. There's got to be somebody I can share this with, that I can talk to, that they can hear me. That can hear me. Please, God, don't let me go with this in me. Please, please give me someone that can hear and pass it on. And you, I can hear. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity for us to be able to show you how much we appreciate this work that we've been able to do. Ruben was on with me last week. He'll be on next week. And all of us who are studying to show ourselves approved, because we know that your work is not in vain, that the reason why we can touch voices, Les, that I can get emails from across the globe from people who have heard this call or have been inspired by the words that we speak. It is an honor, and not one that I take for granted, but seeing you live your words, seeing you every single time you are listening with a different ear, you are still investing in yourself. And you said 7 years. I know you look young, but it's 70.
I said 7 years. That's what happened when you turn 70, baby. You just leave a zero off. Oh, my God.
And you know, Les, because you mentioned something that is so key. After spending so much time around you and Dr. Sweeting and Mike, it's challenging for me to just see people just want to make money. Like my son, I know he has the same gift that I have, and he has started his own teleconference. He is taking his work so seriously because I have instilled those things in him that you have instilled in me. And I'm constantly traveling around, and when I speak and I train, whether I'm speaking to one person or 1,000 people, what I've learned from you is that one person, whether it's 2 people or 20, don't take that for granted, because that could be one person in that room that could change the universe. So I thank you. I'm like Stacie, because you have deposited this in us, and we're running. We're not sitting still. We are running this race, and we are serious about what you have deposited in us. So I'm looking forward. So I'm excited about doing the calls as well.
Let me tell you what I want to do, though. I'm going to have an event for your son who's in music, and all of that will go toward his dream. We have to support each other's children's dream. And I texted him and told him I was going to do that, and I'm going to. This time coming back from being in 5 countries, and not just jet lag from that, but having a major medical procedure has been a character building experience for me. I've learned a lot about life, about myself, and I've been going and going, and I've been very fortunate. Haven't missed any speaking engagements. I've been very fortunate. I've been able to still give. And I realized you can't please everybody.
No.
I received a very critical letter from a young man who used to kidnap women and sell them. And because I didn't return a call to him as soon as he wanted me to, he just went off on me. And I said in response to him, anger is a wind that blows out the lamp of the mind. Anybody can be a lowlife and burn bridges in relationships. And I said, there's a part of me that, if you want to continue, that won't let me respond to you as others would. Because at some point in my life, I've been stupid and made some statements that I shouldn't have made in anger. But what I thought about, this young man has so much to offer, has so many others. But then I stopped myself And I said, if I help him, I'm helping an individual that 9 times out of 10, what I do will fail. But if I help a kid who's doing the right thing, who has not and is not out there breaking the law, living and walking in darkness, a kid who's might not be the most brilliant kid, but just doing what they can to make a difference with what they have. If I help that kid, I'll save a society. I'll save a Martin Luther King. I'll save a Barack Obama. Because I've had the experience of trying to convert. And a person converted against their will is of the same opinion still. And I lean on Scripture, and I say this to the two of you. Jesus said, whosoever will, let him come. And that's major. Whosoever will, let him come. He who has ear, let him hear. We have to work with the willing. You have to work with the willing. Your son has made good decisions. He's a good son. He's in school. He's studied. He's accomplished. That's what we got to help. That's what we got to focus on. We got to put our energy where it will pay off for us. It will pay off for us. I've got a son that's very talented. I will not give him a dime. You hear me? If I thought I was about to die and I had a quarter, I would swallow it. I would swallow it. They have to perform an autopsy to get it out. Let me tell you something. Because you notice that the same people show up. Give me. Same people, always there when they need you. And so at this stage of my life, and God has given me grace. Everybody don't make 70. No. Especially African-American males, and don't look nowhere as good as me. It's not true because I said it, but I said it because it's true.
That's a true statement right there.
Let the record show. Yeah. But to hear
70 is the new 40 for you, Les. 70 is the new 40 for you.
Thank you so much. But when I hear you, it brought tears to my eyes. Like, you're Reuben. It brings tears to my eyes because I know the work will be continued. It will be continued, and you did a great job. I hear your growth, and you're listening, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the two of you. And so it is. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I love both of you.
Thank you so much, Les.
Love you too.
It is always so good to hear you drop in, and you always
and shock us.
Yes, and shock us. It was a great surprise.
My feedback to you is you knocked it out the park.
Yes.
Oh, thank
yes,
you.
Indeed. You knocked it out the park. Let the record show. Take care. You know I don't give away stuff easily.
I know.
I'm hard.
We know, right, Stacie?
I know that. Look, I'm sitting here trying. Good thing they can't see me with the tears in my eyes. When you get that kind of reinforcement. And who knew you'd be on? That's why you have to always put your good foot forward and a clean player unders. You never know.
Exactly.
You never know.
You never know who's listening.
I like both those stories, and I'm going to use both of them and tell them that I heard it 3 times, and then I'm going to say I heard somewhere.
We learn from the best. Yes, we do.
Yes,
Les, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We love you.
I love you.
You,
Send me only serious people. I don't want to work with anybody but serious people. But there's some stuff that I'm going to share with you and Reuben and Anita and 3 other people that I have never shared before because no one was ready. But now, after losing 3 friends, I don't want to put anything off. We have a season.
Yes,
and we don't know when our season is up. Not that mine is going to be up anytime soon. I'm going to be here a long time, but I don't want to take anything for granted. Nothing for granted. I got up this morning thinking about Mike Rivers. I thought about him yesterday and the day before yesterday, and Thursday I thought about him, and he died Friday morning. What if I called him Thursday? I put it off. He'd been heavy on my mind. And so Aurelia said, stop living like you have 1,000 years to live. If there's something that you're supposed to do it now.
Do it. That's right.
Yes. I want you all to notice a technique and strategy that I'm using with my voice.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back from when I did it, let's say 2 years ago or a year ago, and you listen to my voice now, I have trained it to do something else. That's part of what I'm going to work with you on and show you why a major real estate coaching company owner said, I'm going to pay for every available speaking engagement you have. After I spoke to his group, I'm going to share with you what I did. I'm getting a copy of that speech so that you can listen to it and watch it and study it. And then, for the first time, I'm going to open up my Rolodex, and I'm going to give you access to who I speak to and get all the videos that I have of those presentations. And if I don't have them, I will walk you through the process of what they're looking for that will allow you to become very successful. I got a very good email from Kevin Bracey today, and he emailed me and said, because of your training, he said, this is what I'm making now. And it was $10,000 that he sent me from a school system that he spoke to. And so not to be outdone, I'm sending him an email today that when he read it, he can say, okay.
Look, Kevin is a bad boy, but we know who trained him. He's one, like you said, Les, some people come and go, but I've stayed. A lot of us have stayed, and Kevin is powerful. I know you have this training that's coming up on the 18th and 19th. Did you want to say anything to the listeners about this event that's going to be in Orlando, Florida?
This training will have Dr. Anthony Sweeting, and he has a PhD in theater, speech, and drama. He was my classmate that I modeled myself after him. When you hear him, you say, oh, and you say, Les who? Am I right?
That's right.
That is true. This is true.
Yes, Dr. Sweeting is
Dr.
amazing.
Anthony Sweeting, he is not from this earth. He's from another planet. He's different. He's different.
And Les, he knows how to get the butter from the duck.
Oh, he can get the butter from the duck.
He can get the butter from the duck. Yes, he can.
You know, we both had to speak at Mr. Washington's funeral. And when they called my name first, I said, thank you, Jesus, because I did not want to come after him. And true enough, I came up and I did my thing. But when Anthony got through, he took the butter from the duck. There was nothing left on the table. So he's going to be there. Mai Santana is going to be there, who's a phenomenal coach. And what we're going to do this time is showcase people, pull out their keynote presentation and walk them through the process of doing it. We're going to have a little competition. Mike Williams will be there as well. And I tell you, it's going to be a different. This is the last one I'm doing this year, and my goal is next year, just as I pass this to you, because there's no success without successes. You can never learn if you don't get a chance to do this. You have to grow into this, and so now with you and Ruben going back and forth, and after you get to a point where you've mastered it and created products out of this, then you pull someone else up who's serious and shows the potential, and you do the same thing with them. And so next year, it's time for me to only work with a select number of people. I'm not doing any international speaking engagements next year at all. And I'm not going to do the travel that I've done, and I'm pulling back. I will probably in 2016, I'm going to bring all of the people who I work with will have to come to Orlando, that I probably will do 10 speaking engagements next year with some select corporations that I like. I think because when I started out, it was very few people with my background that was in the industry. And what has disappointed me is that even people that I have trained are not at the level where I am. And that's success is never ending. And this, what I understand success to be, is the people that I trained are trained properly. They will surpass me. So next year, my goal is to have the best speakers on the planet. That requires time. That requires time and mastery to reach that level, and contacts and relationships. And so I feel that's the assignment that God has for me on the business side, is training and developing other speakers and managing your careers. And I feel that we have lost so many young men. My nephew, I'm waiting for him to call. I've called him 5 times. He has not returned my call. He told his mother he's going to call me. Just got out of prison in Atlanta and got a sleeve. That tattoo's all over his neck, all over his arms. I mean, just totally retarded. And so I'm going to talk to him. But there's so many. He's a good kid, but he just got mixed up with the wrong group and just made some stupid, dumb mistakes, which I've had periods in my life when I was younger that I was temporarily insane. The world consists of the caught and the uncaught. I do believe that. And so I believe that I've been given grace. I'm going to donate all of my materials to any prison that will accept them. And I'm going to ask people to contribute to the Greatness Center so that I can broadcast in prisons all across this country. We've lost so many good men and women who've made some mistakes, and society make them pay over and over and over and over again and drive them back to the prisons because it is a profit center. It's a profit center. But my goal is to transform their mindset, to teach them how to become effective communicators, how to dress like a prospect and not a suspect, and how to use technology to create entrepreneurial ventures where they can earn money and not be demoralized by going out trying to get jobs that are not going to happen for them because of their record. I believe, to me, that's the greater work. The least that you do unto these, my brethren, you do it also unto me. I believe in these juvenile detention centers and in these prisons, there's some Malcolm X's up in there. There's genius up in there. Now, there's some people who need to be there, but there are a whole lot of them whose lives have been destroyed by very corrupt cops who framed them and put cases on them. We can see that now. The judges treated the judges and the prosecuting attorneys have a sweetheart relationship with policemen. And they have ruined the lives of so many of our people. Ruined their lives. Oh, God, I'm getting upset and my blood pressure is going up. This is the Les Brown, the activist that used to be in Columbus, Ohio. Y'all don't know about him, but you talk to people in Columbus about Les Brown when he was on the radio. I did not play. But it bothers me. It bothers me, young men who've been framed. It bothers me. It bothers me. And so it's not enough to be bothered. Some of them can hear my voice. Some of them can hear my voice. And I'm going up in there. And I believe that God is going to give me grace to have the health and the stamina to do that work. I'm 70 years young, and 40, as you said, Anita, is the new 70. Flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you, but my Heavenly Father, which art in heaven.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you,
Yes.
Les, and we thank God
Yes,
for you.
we
You
do.
are such a blessing to us and to the universe. I know it's 9:05, and we have our
Yes.
platinum call.
Oh,
So,
my goodness.
Les,
Well, look here. Y'all go ahead on
but
it.
we needed
Y'all
to
do
hear
that.
you, and the listeners
Yes.
needed to hear you. We needed to hear
Thank
that,
you.
and thank you
Yes.
so much. It just really
Do y'all need me on the platinum call?
If we'd love to have you,
You know
on
what?
the call.
Y'all can do that. Y'all can do
Yes,
that
let's-
call. Now, I know
All
you
right,
can do
you
it.
go get some rest because you came on and you surprised me and you were here listening. I thank you for your words. I thank you for who you are, what you do, how you have been working with all of us who are willing to be able to take
Yeah.
our voices to the next level to make a change. So those who really want to get the
I tell you,
opportunity
what
to
I'm going
be
to do
your
in the
space-
platinum call, I'm going to
Uh-huh.
break your speech down, and I took notes, and I'm going to walk through
Okay,
what
well,
you did,
they're
and
waiting.
for those, and why the others, what they need to learn from that. Okay,
Okay.
so,
Awesome.
all right.
So they're
I'll come
on
back.
the line
Stacey,
waiting.
I know, Stacie, you have to get on the platinum call. So
Yes,
I'm
I want
going
to open it up.
thank you so thank you
I
so
just want
much,
to say
Stacie.
bye to all the callers. First, let's love you and thank you again. And
Love
Anita,
you.
thank you. And I want to say bye to all of the listeners who have been faithful listeners. There have been a couple of emails that Jason, a few other people have sent. I just want to give you a public shout out. Thank you for supporting this call, for being here, and for connecting with us. Stay connected. Meet us in Orlando. Anita's going to tell you again. You can also go to www.lesbrown.com for that training in September. And send me a social media message at Stacie NC Grant, STACIENCGRANT. I would love to hear your thoughts tonight. If it touched your heart, do the assignments. Let me know how your progress is. We'll be back on again next week, Monday, and continue to live your best life because the world is depending on you. And I am going to sign off unless we need to get on the platinum call. Bye-bye.
And I'll see you all shortly. But listeners, thank you so much. Here is the number if you want to attend the September 18th through the 19th Les Brown I Have to Speak conference in Orlando, Florida. Contact Valerie Parker, and her telephone number is 954-724-0900. And you can also go to lesbrown.com for more information. And if you are serious and you want to become a platinum speaker or you want to learn how to become a platinum speaker, you can email me, Anita Hicks, at Anita, that's ANITAHICKS.com, and I will send you more information on the platinum speakers. It's Anita at AnitaHicks.com. So we look forward to you next week. Please invite someone out next week, and we will see you on the call. And thank you so much, and remember those powerful words tonight, and remember the words of Les Brown. And as I always say to you each and every week when I sign off, never, ever, ever give up on your dreams because the world awaits your light, your authentic gift. God bless you all, and God bless your dreams. And connect with me as well on Facebook, Anita Hicks, and just go out there, Anita Hicks, or go to my website, AnitaHicks.com. We want to stay connected to you. Powerful words tonight. So send us an email. Let us know what your thoughts are about the call tonight and just how we can be of service to you because we want you to move to the next level. God bless you all, and God bless your dreams. Good night, everyone.